Hi, welcome to 561 Ride. Today we're taking the Rebel 500 out of storage and doing the oil change. And by we, I mean my wife will be doing the oil change because no one else is allowed to touch her bike. Doing an oil change on a motorcycle with no fairings like the Rebel 500 is very easy, and I'll show you the entire process in this video. I will go through the parts and tools needed, the location of the drain plug, the oil filter, the oil filler cap, and the sight glass for checking the oil level on the Honda Rebel 500. Okay, let's get started. Here's everything you'll need: an oil drain pan, some gloves and shop towels, a 12mm socket for the drain plug. I also have a 17mm socket for the oil filter tool, which I highly recommend. You'll also need to pick up an oil filter, a 12mm drain plug washer, and 2.7 liters of oil. Honda recommends the GN4 10W30 conventional oil. Here's a tip. Honda has a part number that includes the oil filter as well as the oil filter tool. You can buy this part number the first time you do the oil change, then just buy the oil filter by itself later on, as you already have the tool. Even if your local Honda shop does not carry this part number in stock, they will likely carry an aftermarket filter tool, which will serve the same purpose. Here's the part number for the Honda oil filter and filter tool combination. It's a good idea to lay down a piece of cardboard to keep the floor clean from accidental splashes and spills. The drain plug is near the bottom left of the oil sump, facing the back of the bike. The oil filter is behind the header pipes, facing the front of the bike. The oil fill cap is on top of the right-hand side engine cover. And the sight glass to check the oil level is also on the right-hand side cover on the bottom. Start the bike and warm up the oil for about 3 to 5 minutes. Then open the oil filler cap to allow air into the system as you drain the oil. Now, take your 12mm socket and extension, break open the oil drain bolt, and remove it to let the old oil drain out. You can keep pressure on the drain bolt until it is fully backed out. Remember, the oil will initially come out with more force, so position the drain pan accordingly. Make sure the old crush washer is removed from the case before putting the new one on later. If you have the oil filter removal tool, like mine, put it over the oil filter and use the 17mm socket to turn it counterclockwise to loosen the filter. There will be oil coming out as you loosen the oil filter. Make sure again that the oil drain pan is in the correct position. Due to the location of the oil drain bolt and the header pipes in relation to the oil filter, it is best to do the oil change on the Rebel 500 on the side stand instead of putting the bike on the rear stand. This will prevent the oil from dripping onto your header pipes. Once the old oil has been drained, replace the oil drain plug with a new crush washer using the 12mm socket and extension. Clean up any excess oil with your shop towel. If you want to use a torque wrench, the spec for the drain bolt is 22 foot-pounds of torque. Once you've opened a new oil filter, make sure to lubricate the O-ring seal with some oil. Install the new oil filter by lining it up properly and then turning it clockwise to tighten it. Do not over-tighten the oil filter. It should be about a quarter turn past hand tight. This is also where having an oil filter tool will come in handy, as you can attach it to a torque wrench and tighten it to the 19 foot-pounds specified by Honda. I didn't mention it earlier, but I suppose a torque wrench would be a helpful optional tool to have as well. Now that the drain plug and oil filter are properly installed, we can go ahead and pour in our new oil. Oil containers often have a sight line on the bottle. Use this to help you gauge how much oil you've already poured into the motor. It's easy to add more, but if it's overfilled, you'll have to go back down to the drain plug again. The Rebel 500 takes around 2.7 liters of oil with an oil filter change. So pour in about 2.5 liters, then start checking the sight glass on the bike for your oil level. Add a bit at a time until the oil is between the two lines on the side of the glass. Make sure that the bike is upright when you check the oil level through the sight glass. Once upright, you want to make sure the oil level is between those two lines. To avoid constantly lifting the bike, you can put a block of wood under the kickstand while topping up the oil to the proper level. Start the bike again, but this time you only need to run it for about 20 to 30 seconds. We do this for the oil to fill up the new empty oil filter and recheck the oil level again after. You will likely need to add another 200 milliliters. Replace the fill cap and you're done. Ready for another venture on two wheels. If you found this video helpful, hit like and subscribe. I'll keep these simple DIYs, rider thoughts, and industry insider tips coming. See you in the next one.